Good morning, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, we are going to talk about the second stage of conscious development in sexuality. Conscious development in sexuality is what I'm calling this series. So, this is going to be about stage 2, which is the birth of the ego. Now, I've talked about stages of conscious development in humans in general in a previous series of videos that I did, which you can always go back to on my YouTube channel and see that they are numbered. So, this is stage 2, which is the birth of the ego. And my quotation that I found for today is by Deepak Chopra. So, this quotation says, "The ego relies on the familiar. It is reluctant to experience the unknown, which is the very essence of life." The ego relies on the familiar. It is reluctant to experience the unknown, which is the essence, the very essence of life. Okay, so there is something to be said about that. Now, in terms of ego development, so this particular stage of development in terms of conscious evolution of sexuality or in sexuality, I want to remind you that this is a really fun stage. This is a stage where people are really understanding what they like, what they enjoy in sexual experiences. So maybe they enjoy things that are often related to the senses in general, right? So if we can understand sexual senses, but let's think. So sexual senses, people might automatically think about touch. They like to know where they like to be touched. So something arouses them to a particular point of sexual interest or piquing. And in that experience, again, whether people are alone or with partners, they start understanding their bodies and what they like. They like perhaps a soft touch, perhaps a stronger touch. Perhaps they like music. And even in music, sometimes people will like soft music, and some people like rap music. Some people like the words of music. Some people like the instruments in music. So there's all sorts of different things. Some people like hearing the sounds of nature. Then there's the scent that people might like. So this is also a sense. So if we're thinking about the smells, like, oh, some people love essential oils, and some people absolutely do not love essential oils. Some people like the smell of fresh baking, or some people like smelling that their dinner is going to be ready soon. So there's scents. There are some people who are very aware of the scent of their partner. So, the scent of their partner. Some people are really turned on by someone who's come in after working out. And believe it or not, I've had patients that have said this. And other people cannot stand this. They really want a freshly washed body. So, that's great to be able to share in this time. Understand what you like in terms of senses. Some people, as you might know, like the lights on. They're very visual and they like to be able to see everything that they're doing or everything that's being done in a sexual experience. Other people prefer the lights off. Sometimes in couples, this changes over time. So they might have really enjoyed lights on, and over time that might change. And it's interesting in terms of communication, right? First of all, you're sharing with your partner. Make sure you're sharing with your partner what you like or do not like. And if something changes, make sure you ask why. A lot of times, it's about people feeling self conscious with lights on. And sometimes people are really stuck visually, so they cannot feel aroused when the lights are off. So, this is really important to know, right? What about, again, sounds? Are the sounds different for different people in terms of the environment? So, some people really need a quiet space, and some people really need some background noise. So, this is important to know between couples and in terms of if people are on their own. Also, people are discovering in the ego stage of development that there are things that they like and things that they don't like, places that they want to touch, places they do not want to be touched. And on their own, they are figuring out what they like and what they don't. Over time, in relationships especially, things change and can change or do change. And then in that time, people start thinking, well, this is what I like, and I've told them that this is what I like, and they're not doing that. And it's interesting because oftentimes the tone changes in how we're communicating in our relationships too, right? That I told you I don't like when you touch me there. I told you I don't like a firm touch. And surprisingly, if you'll be mindfully aware of this, it might differ from day to day. So then couples can go into the space of nothing that I do pleases my partner. It's just I try everything, but they don't like anything. They used to like this, but they certainly don't like it anymore. And because needs change, and not only over the years, but even over the days. It could be over a single day. And if someone is on their own, they really know what is different at this moment than a moment before, or the day before, the week before, the month before. And if they're in a relationship, if they've tried something and it's felt good for themselves or the other person, oftentimes those things are repeated. And sometimes it's not the same today as it was yesterday. So this is really important to check in on. And what does this tell us? Presence still matters. Presence is the most important thing that you can focus on in this stage as well. So remember that we just went through the stage of innocence, and it's very easy to be present in the stage of innocence where everything is new and you're curious and everything's exciting. And again, there is no prior awareness. In the stage of ego development, or the birth of the ego in the conscious evolution of sexuality, recognizing that you start learning what you really like or what you really don't like, and you start learning what potentially your partner really likes or really doesn't like. And then that recognition of this might change today or tomorrow. But oftentimes in this stage, when couples get stuck in this space, it's they won't do what I like, or I can't tell them what I like. So, either of those spaces, most often it's that they won't do what I like. So, they won't take a shower before we have an sexual experience, or they won't turn the lights down, or they won't put on my favorite music. They don't put candles on, so the mood's not right. They don't talk to me as sweetly as they used to. They don't say kind things to me, or I like things that are a little bit rougher. Whatever it is, these need to be communicated. And oftentimes couples start thinking, well, I've already said it, so why do I have to say it again? And you do, because people forget, or people are thinking something else in their own minds, and there isn't that connection. The presence with each other allows people to be mindfully aware of their needs and their partner's needs. So remember, a lot of people start thinking in this time in terms of ego development. When you feel better than or lesser than anyone, that's the ego in you. Remember this. So if you feel I'm a better lover than my partner is for me, like I do more things, I spend more time, I care more, I am aware more, I do the things that I know they like, and they won't do the things that they know I like. And that is a person who's feeling better than. And another person might feel like, am I doing enough? I don't know if I can do the things that they like. They've had other partners, so I wonder if I'm as good as their last partner. I wonder if I'm making them happy. And so that's a lesser than space of the ego. So being mindfully aware of this in that ego stage of the conscious evolution of sexuality will help you in your relationship. So today, I would love for you to have fun with this. Sit for 5 minutes and figure out what kind of things have you figured out about yourself that you really like or you really don't like, and maybe go through all of the senses and think of the things that you really like. Now, do you know what things your partner really likes? Do they know what you really like? This would be a great conversation to have, right? And remember that today could be completely different than tomorrow. So check in with each other regularly. If you're on your own, make sure that you recognize what is it that you have learned about yourself, because this is the time of understanding. This is who I am. This is what I'm learning. And if it changes tomorrow, recognize it. And it's great. Remember, be curious about, wow, isn't that interesting? I feel a little bit different today than yesterday. This is what I like today, but yesterday I liked this. So, really important to be aware of your own preferences, likes, dislikes. Just like in all of the rest of life, in sexuality too. This is your conscious evolution in sexuality. So today, 5 minutes where you're sitting and thinking about these things and potentially sharing with your partner too. I hope you have fun with it and have fun with each other or yourself. And remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.